Coming to class, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and stand up at the back of the mat. And just take a moment to ground the feet down and just shake your body out at first. Just let everything go, loosen everything up, and then start to reset the body, placing the feet down, hip width apart, seeing that the toes are facing forward, and then just press the feet down and see how as you find that activation into the ground, you can grow a little bit longer and you can stand a little bit taller and your abs start to automatically turn on. And let's take a big inhale up. Exhale everything out. Another big inhale up and exhale it out. On the next one, we'll inhale up and then exhale forward fold. Exhale with a bend of the knee, rolling forward. To bring your hands to the mat if available, or to your shins, wherever is available for you. And just take that forward fold for a moment. Let the head hang. And make sure you have that little bend in the knees so you can get that stretch in your low back. You can bend and straighten the knees here. And then begin to walk the hands out to your plank. So the first plank of the day, sliding the shoulders down, drawing the abs up and in. Nice long neck, length into the crown of the head through the heels. Firm up the thighs. So you're very strong here. Inhale, exhale to the downward dog. Lifting the sit bones high. And you can pedal the knees out here. Inhale and exhale, pressing both heels back. This will be round the spine forward into our plank. Drawing the abs in and then rolling the hips high to the sky for your downward dog. Just taking some movement to articulate through your spine, using your breath, going at your pace. We're going to meet back in the plank for the next one, rolling back forward into your plank, holding here, side the shoulders away from the ears, draw the abs in, and then float the right leg up, point the toes and little tiny pulses of that leg up. Slide the shoulder blades down, and then lower that foot down, other leg lifts up, point the toes, little tiny pulses activating in the glute, lowering that foot to the mat, taking it back to your downward dog. Take a breath there, pressing the floor away from you, reaching your heels back to the mat, take your right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip to stretch out the oblique. This has become like my favorite thing to do. I love the weight of the leg pulling open my side body and my hip, getting a little stretch in the psoas. Square the hips, bringing that foot all the way through to the hands, and then reaching your right hand up to the sky, taking this twist and stretch. Reaching the fingertips up a little bit taller to the sky. And then we'll bring that hand back down, meet back in your plank, holding your plank right here. We're gonna come onto your left forearm, onto your right forearm, back up onto your left hand and right hand, again with the left. We're gonna do that one more time. Meet back up into your full plank, and then take it to your downward dog. Take a breath there, and we'll reach the left leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, stretching open through your left side body. And then we'll square the hips, stepping the left foot through to the hands, and then take your left hand up to the sky. And breathe there. I love how this just kind of feels like my spine unravels a little bit. And then we'll bring that hand back down to the mat. Step back to your plank, starting with your right forearm this time. Take it down to your forearm, and then back up onto your hands. Just two more like that. Taking it mellow to start. One more. Coming right back up. Holding here, walking the right toes forward so the knee is under the hip. Walk the left toe forward. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back, switch to the left, pull it in, out, out, go right. Come in, out, left. We're gonna do one more each way. And then last one with the left. Bring it all the way back to center, bend the knees, bring it to the mat, press back, take a child's pose, take a breath. Letting your chest just drop to the floor, letting your booty sit back to your heels. And take that breath. We'll walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, taking a stretch to the left side of the body. Reaching the left fingertips a little bit further forward, creating some space between the ribs, expanding air into the lungs on the left side, pushing the left hip back. One more breath there. Walking the hands back to center, reaching them forward just a little bit further, and then other side. Reaching the right fingertips even further forward. Breathing into the space between the ribs, expanding the lung on the right side for one more breath. Walk it back to center, rolling yourself up onto your hands and knees under your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, rounding into your cat, stretch strong, abs in, dropping the tail, drop the head, and then head up, tail up for your cow, shining your heart forward, and into your cat. Good, you're building some heat, I see. And lift head and tail one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then back into neutral, draw the abs up and in, and extend the right arm and left leg and hold. Finding this length here, so reach the fingertips a little bit further forward, reach the foot a little bit lengthened by activating out of the glute, and then round your spine for the knee and the elbow to touch under the belly and extend. In and extend. So I've been doing a lot of yoga lately, one more. And I didn't realize they call this position that we're gonna hold for one more breath, sunbird. And I really I like that it incorporates the sun. And then bring the hand and the knee back down. I'd never heard it called that before. Extend the left arm, right leg, hold. Finding your stabilization here, drawing the abs up and in. And then round your spine, the knee and the elbow, touch under the belly and extend. Draw in and extend. Rounding the spine and then get long one more time. And bring it all the way back center. Bring the hand and the knee down one time into your cat and into your cow. And roll the toes under, draw the abs in, send the shoulder blades away from the ears. Rotate the eye of the elbow forward and then shift the knees up just 1 inch. So you're drawing the abs up and in. Bring your weight a little bit forward and then micro bend the elbows and straighten. Just a tiny bend backwards and straighten. So not out to the side, but backwards. For 5, breathe. Just a little movement. Hold this one down halfway and tiny little pulse, pulse, pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bring the knees down, press back, take a breath in child's pose. Inhale, and then exhale, you're gonna just slide yourself out onto your belly. And all the way down onto the mat. However you want to get there. And we'll fold the forearms together and then just take a moment there. Let your body just settle in for a moment because we just woke up. We got a lot of activation to start. Just take a moment for your body just to settle in. And then notice your hip points and pubic bones starting to melt into the mat. Try to release any tension in your low back. Let your pelvis just sway side to side a little bit. Let go of any tension in the sacrum. And then start to feel how your belly can draw up. So we want to wrap the ribs in and then think about the abs drawing up and into the spine. And release. Pulling the belly up and into the spine. And release. Pull the abs up and in and float the right leg up off the mat. Engage in that right glute. And lower down and then left. So we're just going to alternate sides. Lifting and lowering the leg. And then since the movement is so easy, you can be really aware that the pelvis is staying very still. The belly is drawing up and in, and the spine is staying long. So you're not compressing in your low back to lift the leg. You're activating your abs to stabilize, and you're activating your glute to find that extension. Last one with the left leg. You can stay single leg, or we're going to float both legs. And lower. Feeling the glutes, draw the abs in, lifting both legs. And out. Both legs lift and hold. And then stir the legs away from each other. They go out and around. So lots of glute activation because that's helping to stabilize our center as well. So your abs can be super strong, but if you're not having strength in your backside, you're not going to be balanced. And reverse. Breathe. And last one, let the legs lower, shake the pelvis out. Lengthening the arms out to the front edge of the mat. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Float both arms and legs up off the mat. Think about length, like someone's pulling the fingers and the toes, but then slide your shoulder blades into the back pockets and lower down. Draw that abs in, floating arms and legs up. And lower, floating arms and legs up and hold and flutter kick, starting to swing. Keep the neck long, keep drawing the abs up and in, setting the shoulder blades down, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, fold the arms, let the forehead relax, and then shake the pelvis out. You're gonna reach back with your right hand, you grab your right foot, and just take a little moment here, stretching through the quad and the hip flexor.
Taking a couple breaths there. If it feels good, you can lift the thigh off the mat. If that doesn't feel good, don't go for that. One more breath. And we'll release that leg. Other side. Grabbing a hold of your left foot. Keep pressing your pelvis down and taking that stretch through the quad and the hip flexor. Let's take 2 more breaths there. And we'll release that leg all the way out. Shake the pelvis out. Bringing the hands underneath the armpits. Roll the toes under, or you could stay on your knees. So if you want, you can roll the toes under. And we're gonna just take an inhale, and on your exhale, just press up into your plank. And then you can bring your knees down and come to sit on your bum. That was just a little bonus for fun. So come to sitting up tall. And grabbing your ring, your ball, your band, whatever you have that you're gonna use to stretch and to create just a little activation in the back right now. So sitting up, lengthen, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And I only have a band right now, so I don't have the ring. So you can either press in. If you have a band, then you're gonna pull out. So it really just depends what you have handy for you right now. Lift up out of the sits bones, draw the abs in, and then you're gonna just pull apart or squeeze. So if you have a ring and you wanna do the pull apart, just slide your hands on the inside, or just stay pressing in with the heel of your hand. Each time we're growing the spine a little bit longer. You can bend the knees if it's helping you to sit up taller. Breathe for 5. Pull the belly in. We're gonna hold tight. So we've got the activation in the lat. So it's bringing awareness to pull the shoulder blades away from the ears and your neck is super long. Tuck the pelvis and just start to place your spine back on the mat. Vertebra by vertebra, you're gonna roll all the way down. Inhaling at the bottom. Take a long stretch. Reach the hands over the shoulders. Tuck the chin and start to peel your spine vertebra by vertebra, keeping your hands right in front of your shoulders. Slide the shoulders in the ears, get really long, pull your belly in even deeper as you reach up and over, forward of the toes, and then scoop and roll back halfway. Shoulders relax away from the ears, draw the abs in. We're gonna float the right leg 1 tiny inch up off the mat and lower, and then left. So you're tucking your pelvis, you're pulling your abs in, and breathe. 1 more each way like that. Holding there, take it back a little inch, come up a little inch, take it back a tiny inch, and lift. Can you start to find that activation on your pelvic floor with the Kegel, lifting the pelvic floor muscles, and then hold, go back down to the mat, all the way down, taking a long stretch. Inhale, exhale, reaching the hands over the shoulders, slide the shoulders over the ears, rolling up to your halfway point. So you meet at your belly button, holding there, widen the collarbone, and you'll twist your torso only over to the right. So getting a little rotation and bring it back to center and twist over to the left and back to center. Take it back a tiny inch. Can the legs stay still as your body twists to the right and back to center and over to the left and back to center. Take it back 1 tiny inch, sliding the tailbone underneath you, and again over to the right. Take a little further, and bring it back to center. Relax the shoulders, soften the quads, and over to the other side. Bring everything back to center, round your spine up and over, diving over that beach ball, and then hop onto your feet. Taking that breath there. You took it onto your right foot, and we'll start our stretch, getting some length in the legs, and roll down, taking the right leg up to the sky. And just melt into the mat for the moment. Pushing the right sits bone forward and bending and straightening the leg. Breathe. And then when it feels good, you can start to keep the leg straight. Push the sits bone forward and come back a little bit further. And a little bit further. So try to keep the leg as long as possible as the leg comes back. Take 2 more breaths there. Taking it to your deepest stretch. Whatever feels good for this morning. And then we'll release that, bringing it to the tip of the toes. And pull the toes down, heel to the sky for your calf stretch. So the leg can go down any amount that allows you to focus on your calf. So you don't want to be pulling it back so much that your hamstring is still feeling like it's doing all the work. Let's point and flex the foot. And then begin to hold the toes towards your shin. And just breathe there. And stretch out the calf. And we'll release that on the next exhale and bring it back to the center of the foot. And then spiraling that leg open and out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. So your right tricep can be your kickstand to help support the leg out there, not letting it just fall over to the side and letting your left hip lift. So your pelvis is staying even on the mat and your leg is lengthening and reaching out of that. Shoulders relax and breathe. Do a couple more breaths there. On the next exhale, we'll sweep that leg to the side. Bring it all the way up. And across the body, stretching through the side of the hip, pushing the right sit bone away from you. And breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we'll release that and come into your spinal twist. The leg fall across the body, looking in the opposite direction, and your knee falls any amount across. And extend that leg all the way out to straight. Grabbing a hold of your band or ring or towel or whatever you're using, and then peel yourself up. And grab a hold of the left leg. And then sequentially bring your spine down as you take the left leg up and just start to melt into the hamstring stretch. And breathe here. Bending, straightening the leg. Pushing the sits bone forward. And holding that leg long. Can you really square the hips, push the sits bone forward and bring that leg back a little bit further. Shoulders relax. And breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths here. How much extra can you use your breath to get into that hamstring? Your next exhale, let's release that and bring it to the toes to bring it into your calf stretch. Pulling the toes down, heel up. So letting that leg go to any amount down that's going to allow you to focus on the calf. Pull your toes towards your face, heel to the sky, and then begin to point and flex. Holding the toes down, heel up. And then bring it back to the center of the foot, spiraling the leg open and out to the side for inner thigh stretch. Shoulders relax. And lengthen out of the inner thigh. Can you use your exhale to just find a little extra length? Actively stretching. We got 2 more breaths. And then that exhale is going to sweep the leg back up to the sky, letting the leg come a little bit across the body, stretch to the side of the head. And breathe.
pushing that left sits bone away from you and get a little more length through the side of the leg and the hip. Let's take 3 breaths here. And when you're finished, you'll mount into your spinal twist, big exhales. And when you're ready, you'll come into your spinal twist on the exhale. Letting the leg just melt across the body, looking in the opposite direction, making sure both shoulders are staying to the mat. And we'll start to lengthen that leg back out to the front of the mat, shaking the legs out so they're long and loose. And then bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. Take a couple times to arch and imprint your spine, just to let your spine have its moment of movement. And then start to just work your way into neutral. Letting your sits bones be in line with your glute bone, your sacrum melt into the mat. Have that little bit of low back curve. Make sure the back bottom ribs are pressing down, front ribs are softening into the body, shoulders relax. And we'll bring the right leg into the table. Bring the left leg up to meet it. Draw the abs in, point the toes. Shoulders are melting. Tap the right toes to the front edge of the mat. And then float it up. Tap the left toes. And lift. Tap. Drawing the belly in so deep. Lifting out of your pelvic floor. Soft through your neck. Taking the leg just to your point of control. And we'll start to go a little faster. We're going to go switch and switch. And you always can stay where you feel most stable. So if taking speed isn't helping and brushing the legs past each other, then you stay where is best for your body today. Pull those abs in a little bit deeper for 3, breathe. 2, we'll meet back on tabletop on this last one. Bring both legs back up. Reach the hands to the sky. Inhale on your exhale, fold forward from the ribcage, reaching your fingertips towards the front edge of the mat and lower back down. So the legs can be in table, they could be back on the mat, your choice, but you're staying in neutral. We're waking up the upper abs so they know they're in charge of keeping you supported when the head is lifted, so you're not feeling stress in your neck. The top of the pelvic floor. The next one on the exhale, let's keep this lifted. Hold it. Extend the legs out at a high diagonal. Draw the knees back in. Take the legs out at a high diagonal. Squeeze the inner thighs energetically towards each other. Lift out of your pelvic floor. 2 more like that. Lengthen. If it feels good, let's hold this next one out. If not, be back in tabletop and hold. Turn the toes out and just tap the heels. Little taps. Tap. Little taps. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Turn back to parallel and then draw the knees in. Head down. Relax. Let your head rock side to side. Bring your feet down just for a moment to reset your neutral. Always coming back here if you're feeling like your body is maybe taking it into the back. Come back, reset, and meet us wherever we're at. Reach the hands up. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to reach the hands and the legs forward at the same time and lower everything back down. Inhale, exhale. Fold forward, extend the legs. 2 more like that, and then we're moving right into the hundreds. On the next one, we stay lifted. This one, we're stand up, the legs are out, or they're a table. You can glue the thighs, turn the toes out, and start to pump the arms in the hundreds. Inhale and exhale. So you can be in turn out, or you can be in parallel, or you can be with your toes turned in into internal rotation. Where is best, most challenging for your body today? Maybe it's in tabletop, maybe your feet are on the floor. Where are your abs feeling it the most? Inhales. Make sure you're breathing. Inhales. This is really about breathing. So if you find yourself holding your breath, bring your legs back in. Inhales. 2 more sets. Inhale. Listen, inhale. And exhale. We'll take the legs back up to the sky. Hug the knees in. And relax. Take the knees, start them in the hip sockets. Just let go of any tension that might be creeping into those hip flexors. And always able to come back to this reverse. If you feel like there's tension there, just to get rid of that so we can focus. Bring the legs back to table, extend the legs long up to the sky. Rest the shoulders away from the ears. Turn the toes out. You're going to open the legs as wide as the mat, and then you're going to come in and cross the right ankle over the left ankle over the right over the left again. So we did 3 twists and then open. Start with the left, then the right, and the left. And we'll take it a little bit faster. We're going to go switch, 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 open, switch, 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 open. So find this in your abs, not just letting your legs flop around. They're moving with control, even as they open out to the sides. They only go to a certain amount where you're maintaining that control.
So it's inner thigh, but it's a lot of abs. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they are relaxed. Breathe. We're gonna do one more each way. Legs are long, last one each way. Bring it back to center, turn the toes out. We're gonna bring the hands behind the head, lift head, neck, and shoulders. The knees are bending to just wider than the pelvis, and the heels are together, the toes are turned out. You're gonna press your heels out, squeeze the inner thighs and draw your frog legs back in. So you press out, squeeze inner thighs and bring it in. So the knees are wide as they come in. I know it's hard to see that on the video. And bring it in backwards for a moment. Squeeze, so they come in, press out. You've got that frog leg action. Let's do 3 more like that, and then we're turning it into frog leg circles. And then bring it in, we're gonna take the heels down, up and around, drawing a circle. They go down, up and around. And reverse that, taking them down, pull in, up and around, all while maintaining your pelvis in neutral. Your head can always rest on the mat. Last one, we bring it all the way back in and hug the knees in and relax your head rock side to side. Bring the legs back to table. Flex through your feet. Hands are gonna come to lift 1 inch up off the mat, lift head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the fingertips forward. Dip both heels forward as far as feels available, and then just drag the legs back up without letting the pelvis move. Dipping the heels forward and drag it up. So you're lifting from your upper abs, lift out of your pelvic floor. Breathe. 3 more like that. If you're feeling like it's in your hip flexors, maybe you open your knees a little bit. If not, press your thighs together. But if that took it to hip flexors, open the knees. Let's actually just do 1 more. And then bring it all the way back up and in. Hug the knees in and take a little moment. Let's bring the feet to the mat. Let your pelvis shake out a little and reset. Arms firm down by your sides, grounding the feet down into the mat. Tuck your pelvis and roll your hips into your first bridge here. So we'll lift the hips up, wide through the collarbone, hug the thighs slightly towards each other, lifting your hips up a little bit higher, and then sequentially imprinting your spine all the way back down. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale, peeling all the way up, lifting the hips high, keeping the neck long, eyes to the sky, and then sequentially all the way down. Grounding your big toe mound down, your pinky toe. So you feel the glutes activating on the top, you feel your abs supporting you, and sequentially all the way down. Peeling all the way up. Lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and all the way down, keeping this next one lifted. Lift all the way up, push the hips a little bit higher, and then tap your butt down and press up, squeeze. Tap down, press up, squeeze. Make sure that the thighs are staying even here. So just starting to wake up that back area of the body, although maybe it already is from the previous work we were doing. And then hold this one up, press the feet down, push the hips a little bit higher, and little tiny pulses up. Little tiny lifts, hug those thighs in. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, sequentially imprinting your spine all the way down, reaching your hands up to the sky. Inhale. You might need to walk your feet a touch away from you. If not, you can keep them there, roll yourself all the way up on your sits bones, glue the heels from the toes apart. Fingertip touch your ankles. Don't worry, we're coming right back into bridging, but our new fan fave is incorporating with the abdominal series. So we're gonna come into rolling like a ball first, pull the heels in, side shoulder blades down, tuck your pelvis, roll to your shoulder blades, and come right back up and balance on the edge of that cliff without letting your heels drop. Round, exhale, keeping that little ball shape. 2 more like that. So there should be a little massage on the spine. 1 more. Come up to balance. We bring the legs to tabletop. Bring your hands to the back of the thighs and lift yourself up, roll your shoulder blades down. So this is your reset as you sequentially start to imprint your spine down into the mat. Make sure your pelvis goes right into neutral. Extend the left leg long. Right knee gets framed with both hands. Inhale, exhale, switch sides. We go switch and switch. Long neck, soft jaw. Breathe. So you've got an eye slightly towards your abs. So you can see your pelvis is in neutral. Breathe. For 4,
We're gonna come into double leg stretch, and then we're gonna go back into the bridge. And then last one, both legs are in, reach your hands just past your knees, extend the arms and legs long at a high diagonal, circle the arms around and draw the knees right back to tabletop. Move through molasses as you lengthen, and then circle and you bring it back around. So you're going slow and super controlled. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge there. For 4. So you create imaginary resistance for yourself as you're pulling it around with that slow motion. 2. Last one. Exhale, bring it all the way and let your head relax. Bring your feet down to the mat. Let your feet be just a little bit to the front edge of the mat. So just past your knees. Arms can stay down, or if you want, they can come up to the sky, tuck your pelvis and roll up into your bridge position here. If the hands are up there right over the shoulders and collarbones wide, you're gonna press the toes down and lift the heels. So all 10 toes are really pressing down. You can walk your feet back if that feels better. Can you lift your hips a little bit higher, hug the thighs slightly towards each other, just dropping your right heel and lift and left and lift. So alternating sides. Breathe. So you're moving a heel down to challenge the stability of your pelvis, but it's also working the entire backside of the leg. One more each way. Both heels stay lifted. Tap your butt to the mat, press up and squeeze. Tap down, press up and squeeze. If the arms are up, imagine you're holding a beach ball between your chest and your hands. So you have a roundness and an openness in your collarbone. Down, up, and squeeze. Getting a hold at the top. How much more activation can you find in those glutes? The next one, can we stay lifted? Reach the sits bones a little bit towards your calves and tiny pulses up. Little lifts, pulse up. Abs in tight. Squeeze the booty, hug the thighs slightly. Your big toe mound is pressing down so your heels don't collapse out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Drop the heels and sequentially start to imprint your spine all the way back down into the mat. Keep your hands where they are as the legs come one at a time to table. Inhale, on your exhale, we float head, neck, and shoulders up, extend the legs up to the sky, and then lower your left leg long, grab gently behind the right thigh, give a little double pull the right leg in, exhale on the scissor, double pull. So it's a quick little inhale, exhale on the scissor, inhale on the leg pull. And it's pulling back from behind the thigh or up towards the ankle, not behind the knee. And if you don't need the hands there, they could reach forward. And if you're really feeling like you need extra this morning, you could bring the arms back alongside the ears, but watch that the shoulders are not pulling up towards the ears. We're gonna have a challenge on the last one, of course, for 3, breathe. 2, so you can always take a moment or you meet us with the challenge. Keep the right leg up on this one, hold, left leg is extended, an inch up off the mat, or you could put it on the mat, grab them behind the thigh, just walk yourself up onto your sits bones. Slide the shoulders down, lift and lengthen, and then sequentially walking yourself all the way down. So we've got 2 more. Maybe you use your hands, maybe you don't. You could just get yourself all the way up and all the way down. This is your last one. We go all the way up and we stay. Catch the left hand to the outside of the right ankle, get long, and then twist right fingertips to back. Check out the fingertips, sweep the hand back to meet the leg. Twisting the ribcage around, pelvis stays as still as it can. One more time, can the shoulders relax away from the ears, bring it back to center, and we just switch legs. Walk down the left leg, and walk up the left leg. All the way down. Maybe you take your hands off and you go all the way up. You've got 1 more. Inhale, all the way up. We catch the right hand to the outside of the left ankle, and then we twist the torso around and bring it back center. Can the shoulders relax? I know nothing is relaxed, but we're just goals, you know, bring it all the way back to center. Both legs come up to the sky. It's a little moment of break because you're just here holding your legs. You got this, Stan. Okay, open the legs out to as wide as the pelvis. Not super wide, just as wide as the pelvis. Maybe you stay there for 3, maybe you roll back to your shoulder blades and you come up and you balance on your sits bones. Maybe not, wherever you feel best. Roll to your shoulder blades and come up. Where's your challenge this morning? 1 more time. Come up, balance, hold. Bring the legs together. Release the hands.
and slowly start to roll your spine down into the mat, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Once your head is down, you can give your knees a little hug, and then place the feet to the mat. Press the hands down by your sides, tuck your pelvis and roll up into your bridge position again. Walk the feet to the outside edges of the mat. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Maybe your sits bones can reach a little more towards your calves. So you're really getting the booty activated here. The hands can stay down or they can come up and you're gonna dig your heels down. Turn your toes up. Lift the hips a little bit higher. And you'll tap your butt down, press up and squeeze. Tap down, up and squeeze. Use your breath. Down, up and squeeze. Your butt almost touches the mat and then you press up and lift. Collarbone is wide. Lift. And lift. And lift and hold it. And then tap the knees to touch. And open. And touch. And open. They just squeeze in and out. And in and out. And then hold the thighs open, lift your hips a little bit taller, push them up to the sky and tiny pulses of your hips to the sky. Press up, up. Collarbone is wide, little lifts. Breathe. So tiny little movement, really tightening up the tush for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bring the feet back to center. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Hands can come down to the mat or they can stay lifted. Keep your eyes to the sky. So we're gonna bring a leg up and I don't want your head to turn here. So we're gonna bring the right leg into tabletop. Maybe that means your hands went down. Take the right leg up to the sky. And then small lifts, lift. Collarbone is wide. You're pushing your right sits bone a little further forward. That's gonna help you get deeper into that left glute. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, place that foot on the mat. Push the hips a little bit higher. Then we take the left leg to table, take the leg up to the sky. Little lifts higher and tiny pulses up. Push that left sits bone forward. Breathe for 5. And last one, place that foot down. And then tiny little pulse of the hips evenly to the sky. Lift up, up. Wrap the ribs into the body. Push those sits bones forward for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, sequentially imprinting the spine all the way back down into the mat. Bring your hands behind your head, elbows wide to the sides, bringing right leg into table. Left leg comes up to meet it. Those abs should be super activated at this point. Floating head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the legs up to the sky, parallel or in turnout, and then we'll let the legs lengthen out to your point of control and then drag your legs back up to the sky. Collarbone is wide. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lift it up. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Extend and drag the legs back up. Wrapping the ribs in. 3 more like this. You always connect your legs in table. Maybe the legs go all the way to the mat. Maybe they go one little inch. 1 more. And we drag the legs all the way back up. Lower the left leg long. Twist to bring the left shoulder in the direction of the right knee. Scissor the legs. Switching to the other side, we twist. We're twisting to the extended leg up. You also could bend your legs into tabletop and move through tabletop. You don't have to have straight legs. Breathe for 4. Exhale on the twist. Can you wring out your obliques a little bit more? We're at 3. Can you keep your elbows wide to the sides? Can you keep your pelvis as still as possible? You only have 1 more each way. You can do it. Bring everything back to center. Hug it all the way in and relax. Back side to side. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat. Walk the feet a little bit forward. We're gonna slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, tuck the pelvis, and peel up onto the sits bones. Sitting up super tall, roll back halfway, and come up to sit. Roll back halfway, sliding your tailbone underneath you, come up to sit. Roll back halfway and hold. Bring the right leg to table, left leg up to meet it, and just extend the legs up to the sky and tap the mat. You can always grab behind your thighs if you need a little extra assistance. Just 3 more like that, and then we're coming into weights.
and booty. And last one, lift and lengthen, hold, lower the legs gently to the front of the mat. And then you're gonna fold over your legs and take a breath there. And come off to sit. Let's get your weights. My stupid watch, my mom and my aunt, sorry for people that are gonna watch this on YouTube, they're texting back and forth with each other and I'm on the group chat. And I'm trying to put the notifications on pause, but my watch won't even go to that thing right now. I'm like, can they just be quiet? Roll the shoulders up, and they know I'm teaching Pilates right now, so. Sorry, people that watch it on YouTube later, lift and lengthen. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, sit up as tall as you can, push the elbows into the body as the arms go out to the sides, and then tap it. Open and close. Because I think it dings. Can you guys hear it when I get a text from the computer? They drive me crazy. I love you, Mom and Aunt Carol. They won't ever watch this, so we won't have to worry. But hold this open, press out to the sides at a high diagonal. So we're not quite to the side, but we're not out to the front. We're at like a 3/4 as you press. And then roll back halfway, same thing. Sliding the tailbone underneath. Press out and in and out. Next one, holding it out, sweeping them forward and open out. It's like you have a cup of coffee in the palm of your hand. You're not gonna let it spill. Draw the belly in. Holding the arms out to that 3/4 and tiny little stirs here. Relax the shoulders and reverse. And then sweeping it back forward, roll down to the mat, roll right back up. And then palms or elbows bend in. That wasn't fair because you didn't get to stay down there. That was like a quick roll back for a second. Breathe. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Last one, we'll turn the palms down and then just cross the arms, go cross and cross. So the palms are facing the floor, reach the fingertips forward, shoulders relax away from the ears. And then we're gonna hold the right hand on top and a little bend to the elbow and press it forward, tiny bend, press, down, press, press. Slide the shoulders down. And then we're gonna switch sides, left on top, press, little bend and straighten of the elbow. For 3. And last one, dive over to your toes. Take a little stretch forward and sit up tall. Roll the shoulder blades down. Turn the palms towards each other. Scoop and roll back halfway. Lift the hands just a touch. And then hinging the arms open and close around that big balloon. Hollowing out through the center. Inhale and exhale. Holding them close here, sit up tall. Shoot your arms long behind you. Reach your body slightly forward. And then palms facing in, you just press it. And you can also bend your knees here, but you want to keep the spine as long as possible. Collarbone wide. And hold it in and pulse up. For 5. Last one, turn the palms back open again, and then a little bend and straighten the elbow. Press, press. For 5. And last one, sit up tall, send the weights above you, wrap the ribs in, pull your abs in, and then just out to the side and overhead. Open, press up. Out to the side, press overhead. For 5, long neck. How long can your neck stay? Like you're balancing books on top of your head. And last one, it stays up. Turn the palms towards each other and just bend and extend. So this is where we really want to keep our neck long. Working on some range of motion as well. 3 more. Keep reaching the top of your head to the sky. Last one, and we'll bring the waist all the way down. Sweeping the right arm across, take a little stretch here. And other side. Breathe. And we'll come to me on hands and knees, well, actually forearms and knees, I should say. And we're gonna get into some glute work. Let's start with the left leg. Extend the left toes long, square the hips, press your palms down, and then just float the leg up, point the toe, tap the toe to the mat, press up, squeeze. Tap down, press up, squeeze.
Again, this is where you're moving with imaginary resistance. So if you're pulling your leg through molasses, just squeeze. Try to shift a little more weight into your left side. At any point throughout this, you can always bring your right hand onto your belly and see, is that going to help balance you a little bit more? Wrapping the ribs in, hold this leg up and tiny pulses up. Tiny little lifts. Get the leg a little bit longer. And we're going to tap the toes over to the right side of the mat, up and over to the left. And around and around. Last one each way. And bring it back to center, bend the knee, and tiny lift of the toes to the sky. Squeeze the glute. Slide the shoulder blades down, flex the foot, push the heel to the sky now, kick up, 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 up. Again, we're not dumping into the low back. You want to keep your spine in neutral, hold the leg open, or hold the leg up, and now open the knee out to the side. So we just did a little external rotation, and now lift the leg up, lift. So it's still in that little awkward bend, but we're just lifting. So with the knee pulsing up to the sky, holding the leg up. And then see if your heel can kick back in the direction of your opposite booty cheek. So it's kicking to the backside. So you kept the same position. Now you're just doing a wrap back. A little kick back. For 3, 2, last one. Turning your right fingertips to your left arm. Prop your left hand up. Bring the knee to your shoulder and then kick it straight out. Pull the knee to the shoulder, kick it straight out. So you're gonna feel that oblique. Pull in. And extend, pull in. And then holding it in, it's gonna sweep down to the side and up for your hydrant. Keep the foot flexed here and lift. If you would prefer, you can be up on both hands if that feels better for you, whatever feels good for you, as long as you're feeling it in the glute. Next one, let's hold this leg up and kick that leg straight forward and just 10 pulses up, go up for 1, 2, 3, breathe. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, pull it back in, sweep the leg down and press back into your child's pose. And that's it for that side. And we only have one more side, which is the great news. And then roll yourself all the way up. And let's come back under the forearms, and this time, right leg extends out long. Make sure the left knee is under the left hip. Send that leg out long, point the toes. We just lift up and down. Pulling the abs up and in, being aware that you're not just shifting into the left side. You want to square the hips, and sometimes that means when the left hand comes up and pulls onto your belly, that's going to help you balance more, because you kind of obviously can't just lean to the left then. We'll hold it up, point the toe, and small pulses up. Putting some more weight into that right forearm, and then the leg goes over to the left, up and over to the right. So get the up, really firming underneath the buns, where the buns meet, the glute meets the hamstring. One more each way. Right back to center, point the toe, and tiny pulses up. Sorry, friends. And then flex the foot and kick up, kick up. Keep the hips squared, hold it here, and then open the knee out to the side. And then we just pulse the leg up, 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 up. And lift, lift. Keeping the neck long. We hold that leg up and a little wrap back. Kick the heel to the back booty cheek. Obviously, it's not going to go there, but that's the direction you're going. You're kicking to the opposite booty cheek. Shoulders relax away from the ears. And then hold that. We're going to bring your, turn the left hand to the right forearm, then bring the right hand to the mat. Pull the knee to the shoulder and then kick that leg straight. Pull in and kick out. In and extend. 2 more like that. So you feel that top oblique. And then you bring it in and you sweep the leg down for the hydrant and lift it right back up. Flex foot. and we lift. Sweep down, up, squeeze. For 5, breathe. Almost there. Kick this one up and hold it, external leg out. And tiny pulses up for 10, 9, 8, breathe. For 4, 3, 2, last one, bring it in and down. Press back, child's pose, take a breath. So we're gonna stretch out that glute real quick. You have the option to lay on your back for a figure 4 stretch. Otherwise, we're gonna come into a pigeon. So if that doesn't feel available, lay on your back right now and you can do the whole thing on your back. Otherwise, let's come up into a plank for a moment. So your choice, otherwise you're on your back. Float the right leg up. You're gonna pull the knee in, pull it up to your belly. Hover the knee up to your belly and then drop the shin to the mat. And then let the back leg go long. We're gonna square the hips. So you stay lifted to start. And maybe that's where you stay. You wanna try to square the hips. Line up as best as possible, which is not probably realistic for everyone, not for me at least, to line up the front shin with the front edge of the mat, but that's, your direction. And then if it feels good, you could come forward and stretch. If it feels good, you can lay all the way down. That doesn't feel like it's available in my body, but maybe it's great for you. Let's do a couple of breaths here. And breathe. One more breath. And your exhale, you're gonna start to make your way up onto your hands. Roll the back toes under, draw the abs in, and just extend the right leg back out to your plank. And then we'll float the left leg up, bend the knee in, pull it up into your belly, and then drop the shin and make your way into your pigeon here. So I forgot to mention on the other side, but if you're on your back, you're just laying there, you're crossing that left ankle over the right thigh, and you're pulling the leg in. So the figure 4 stretch on your back if you're not in your pigeon. And if it feels good, you can move forward. For any of my HRC people, did you watch the vegan thing on Netflix? Because if you watched it, there was the vegan, I can't think of what it's called. But outside of 21st, I would always see this homeless man, and he's in the video, he's in the show. So if you came to HRC at 21st, there was a guy always outside, and he is a character in this show on Netflix. And I was dying because I used to always talk to him before my classes there. And then bring the hands back to the mat, roll the back toes under, draw the abs up and in, and we're gonna extend that leg out for your final plank. Just holding in your plank. So if you're not in your plank, can you make your way there and meet us? Pull those abs up and in. Feel how light your center feels now, how activated, how strong your plank feels. Press back with the heels to the crown of the head. Inhale on your exhale, taking it to a downward dog. And taking any last little movement your body might need right now. You can run the knees out. And take a breath. Let it all go. Gently start to walk the toes towards your hands or your hands towards your toes, whatever feels best for your body. And we'll just hang out there in your forward fold. And breathe. You're gonna grab onto either elbow and just sway side to side. And switching sides. And release the arms. See that your feet are hip width apart. Just as we started class. Ground down through your feet. Let the head hang heavy as you use your abs to restack your spine to standing longer, taller, and stronger than before class. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Just take a moment to see how does your body feel now? How's your check-in feel? Hopefully a lot stronger. Take a big inhale up. Exhale it out. One more breath, big inhale up. And exhale. And thank you guys for coming to class, Pilates Hotties. I appreciate you coming.